All right, good day, everybody. Steve Prziborowski here. Welcome to episode 66 of Reach for the Firefighter Badge. Episode 66 is going to discuss reasons why firefighters get released during the recruit academy or the probationary process. This is part one. Because it's not uncommon on occasion for someone to get all the way through the hiring process, background investigation, medical evaluation, psychological evaluation, get accepted into the academy, and then get released during the academy for some reason. Or they make it through the academy of a few months, then they don't pass the probationary period. It's rare, but it does happen. So I want to share some lessons so you can hopefully learn from the mistakes of others. So let's get rocking here. As a reminder, my two websites have a lot of great free information on them to help you be the best you can be. So lots of good information and takeaways. I encourage you to check them out. Also, my website, 2 of the 3 books I've had published that are really what the focus of these webinars are. You know, Reach for the Firefighter Badge, as well as the Future Firefighters Preparation Guide. Great info inside. Now, this is based upon an article that I had published by Firehouse Magazine back in 2004. I mean, yeah, it's 16 years old almost. It was titled 7 Reasons Why Firefighter Recruits and Rookies Get Terminated. But I've also taken the time to modernize it. But in all reality, 16 years later, most of the stuff is still true today because things don't change. History doesn't, history continues to repeat itself. But I encourage you to check it out on firehouse.com. If you can't find it, just type in my last name, Prziborowski, Steve Prziborowski, and you'll see I think I got probably almost 100 articles published on Firehouse Magazine. Lots of great free resources. Should also be on my websites. Now, let's talk about why some recruits get released, whether it's through the academy or probationary period. A lot of times it's poor physical conditioning, and sometimes the question comes up of, but they passed the CPAP. They came with a CPAP card. Shouldn't they be good? And then we have to remind people is that all the CPAP card is it's a snapshot in time. Most departments say the CPAP card is good for 1 year from date. So let's say you got it January 1st. Okay, most departments will accept it till December 31st. But let's say you got it January 1st and now it's, I don't know, December 30th. You're 2 days away from having to renew it. Well, that was 363 days ago or 4 days ago. What have you been doing since then? And that's what the challenge I've seen is that a lot of people can pass the CPAP, but then for whatever reason, they don't have some type of sustainable program to maintain their fitness and improve their fitness. I mean, just because you pass the CPAP, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back saying, all right, I'm golden. No, you can have a full-blown program to keep yourself engaged and in shape. So one of the other webinars episodes, we discussed the physical ability test and some ways to help prepare yourself for that. I encourage you to check that one out. But poor physical conditioning is a big reason why some recruits get released. And this is not just fire departments. This is also college firefighter academies, which are obviously very similar to full-time career fire department academies. Well, because think about it. If you're not in good shape, we're going to find out very quickly because in a lot of academies on day one, they're starting physical fitness. In some academies, you get called up to the big leagues. So you get the, Oakland Fire Department, your dream job, dream career, they call you, you're going to the show. You're in the academy for 4 or 5 months or whatever it is. Well, guess what? Chances are every single day, maybe in the morning, maybe at the end of the day, they may be doing an hour or more of physical fitness. Like at Oakland, they used to make all the recruits at the end of the day, of course, after you're tired. Hey, it's a physical job. They'd make the recruits run from the Oakland Fire Department training tower around Lake Merritt, and I believe that was about a 4.5 mile run. There's probably some people that have never done a 4.5 mile run to begin with. So you should be able to do a 4.5 mile run. You don't have to be the fastest, but you also don't want to be the slowest. But physical conditioning is key, having some type of program that is ongoing, because think about it. Day one, you start the academy, and they're already doing physical fitness, which may be a lot of push-ups, maybe running, maybe Stairmaster stuff, or just having you run the stairs of the training tower. Whatever it is, full body, you're going to get your butt kicked very quickly. And I've seen some within the first week when we look at them, we go, uh-oh, they ain't going to do too well. Because if you think about it, once your physical conditioning starts going on the decline and you're pretty much, you may be released for that reason, guess what it also does to your mental status? You're usually at that point also maybe it's hard to focus. I mean, I've seen a lot of times people doing well, but then their physical conditions going down, then that affects their skills, scores, their written test scores, and it's almost like a train wreck occurring right in front of our eyes. So you got to be in tip-top physical shape. Also, another reason why candidates get released or terminated during probation or the academy, immaturity. You know, immaturity has nothing to do with age, but now here all of a sudden, I mean, and there is no perfect age to get hired as a firefighter. I've seen people get hired in their teens. I've seen people at 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s be successful at it, usually because they're in great physical shape. They're very mature as well. They know what they're getting into. Another reason, injury. Now, most fire departments, if you get injured in the academy, I mean, if it's a sprained ankle and you're maybe told by the doctor, you know, hey, you can't walk on the ankle or do anything physical for a week or two, most fire departments will probably not say, bye-bye, Steve. They'll usually say, okay, well, you're on desk duty. And academies are not just hands-on. I mean, when you look at an academy over 4 months, 5 months, there's a lot of classroom stuff, which obviously if you got a sprained ankle, you can do classroom stuff, lecture. But if there's physical stuff, you probably are limited to that. So depending on the time or the type of injury, they may just say, hey, it's only a couple of days, just, you know, keep doing what you're doing, just don't do the physical stuff. But let's say even worse, I've heard stories where candidates break a leg, break an arm, they got to get a cast, something significant, and they're told, hey, by the way, you can't do anything with that arm, that foot, that leg for like 4 months. Well, guess what? I hate to say it, at that point, usually the fire department's left with no choice. Now, while they're forced to pretty much release you, most of us actually have a heart, and at that point, it's usually like, well, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but obviously, you know, because of your physical restrictions, you can't continue in the academy. However, if you get yourself healthy, and if you can stay in shape and everything else, our next academy is whatever, 6 months from now, a year from now. And as long as you're staying in shape and keep in touch with us, we will offer you another job. Now, you already got three quarters of the way through this academy. We're going to make you start from day one. What do you mean day one? Can't I just start 3/4? No, it's a brand new group of people getting hired. Part of the job is team building, team bonding. So you're going to start from day one and be a part of that team versus be someone that's special that's coming in late. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I mean, again, injuries are usually not the end of the world, but again, keep yourself in shape. And obviously a lot of it comes down to poor physical conditioning or not taking care of yourself, not watching your back when you're, lifting with your back versus your legs and so forth. Other reasons, behavior. Behavior can be a big thing. Are you a jerk? Do you snap at your teammates? Do you snap at your instructors? Do you think you know it all? This can be very dicey out there. I mean, again, you're supposed to be on your best behavior during the academy and probation, meaning for your entire career. So if you're already coming in like an asshole, oh heck, it ain't gonna probably get any better, but be on your best behavior, respectful, nice, cheerful, charming, great personality traits to your teammates, to your instructors, to everybody you meet. Some other reasons, unable or unwilling to follow orders or chain of command. I mean, I know it happens on occasion, but every now and then something comes through where someone does not want to follow orders for whatever reason, or they may be not willing to follow orders, maybe they're unable to, or they just didn't pay attention. It's a lack of attention to detail. Very critical to have that attention to detail. Or maybe on or off duty personal conduct. Maybe it's something you do during the academy. Maybe you scream at or yell at or even get physical with, assault or battery, with one of your classmates or an instructor. And those things on occasion have happened. What's usually more common is the off-duty behavior, meaning I remember hearing a story of a recruit firefighter, and when you're in the academy for 3-4 months, there's going to be a final exam, there's usually a midterm, and then there's usually weekly and daily tests. I remember hearing the story of a group of firefighters. Here they are in the academy, they got halfway through the academy and they had their midterm. It was a Friday and they all passed and they're all happy, so they went out to celebrate. This was before Uber, Lyft, and all the ride sharing places or services. This one recruit, of course, for whatever reason, drinks. No problem there when you're hanging out with your friends, but then drives home and gets popped for driving under the influence, and then has to call the training chief at the time. Hey, chief, by the way, I was arrested over the weekend because of DUI. You know, I got a suspended license or whatever else, because you can't hide that stuff, because fire departments, typically, you have to give your driver's license, and usually most states participate in what's known as the DMV pull notice system, meaning on a regular basis, we query the DMV to see if there's been any activity of such. You know, did someone get arrested? Did something happen to their license? Especially DUIs. So when you do have that happen, don't try to hide it, because we will find out. Either we'll reach out, or when they send us their regular routine updates, hey, wait a second. Hey, John, did you get a DUI? Oh, did I forget? I thought I told you, boss. No. Well, you get a DUI during the academy, you're gone. I mean, more than likely you're gone, and you don't get a second chance. It's one thing to be injured. It's another thing to do something stupid and let that happen to you. So don't let that happen to you. I mean, not saying don't go out and drink, but ride sharing services, designated drivers, don't do stupid stuff. Or I've heard of recruits getting into fights. It's like, walk away. But my ego, my pride, I can't do that. I got my girlfriend, my boyfriend with me. I got to clock. No, sorry. Your ego gets checked at the door. Egos eat brains. And you know what? Pride, to hell with pride. You're on the fire department now. Yes, take pride in the fire department, our traditions, our history, your department. However, service above self. Do what's in the best interest. Walk away. Live to fight another day, as they say. Don't be a casualty. Another reason, poor academic performance. In many departments, you have to keep an average of 80% on your daily, weekly quizzes, as well as your midterm and your final. Sadly, on occasion, there's some firefighters, for whatever reason, because, you know, you would think if someone has a high school diploma or GED or equivalent, they should be able to at least get 80%. Well, a lot of times some recruits don't study for whatever reason, or they think they know it all, or they're just, well, I'm a poor test taker. Well, if you're a poor test taker, I hate to say this, but if you're a poor test taker, get used to testing. Seriously, get used to testing, because that's the job of a firefighter throughout our career. You're going to test in the recruit academy, like I said, usually daily quizzes, Scantron, multiple choice, weekly quizzes, a midterm, a final. Oh, then you're on your probationary period of, say, a year. Quarterly quizzes where you may get, well, you will probably get skills and written testing. Oh, and then when you're off probation, usually EMT or paramedic requires every 2 years, maybe testing, depending on the state you're in. Testing never goes away. You can't be one of those that uses the excuse, I'm not good at testing, or I've got tower tummy, as sometimes I hear people say. The drill tower, usually many fire departments have a drill tower, like a 3, 4, 5-story tower, which we train at. And when the crews have to go there and do, like, be put on the spot, sometimes it's called, well, I got tower tummy, meaning I'm nervous. Well, find a way to get over that tower tummy, because you know what? You got to perform. Hey, when Mrs. Smith, Mr. Smith calls 911 in their worst time of need, you can't have tower tummy out there. You better perform. And I hear a lot of people, well, in real life, I'm fine. But testing, I just suck at. I'm nervous. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, maybe that's true in some people, but not everybody. So hopefully you've worked your butt off to get the job and get through all the phases of the hiring process. Now, you ain't out of it yet. Now, do what you can to not screw up a great thing. I mean, seriously, you've hit the lottery when you become a firefighter, but sadly, many screw things up. So in the next episode, number 67, we'll discuss more reasons firefighters get released during the recruit academy and or probation. So as always, thank you very much for the gift of your time. And until the next time, be safe and learn from all this stuff in some way, some form or fashion. Put it in the back of your head, because at some point you may see someone do this, or you may do this. And I don't want you to be in that position, because you've worked hard to get this badge. Now it's time to keep the badge. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.